Hey guys, welcome to my review and experience of Space Cadets with my kids. Space Cadets says it's for 8 years old and up, 36 players, and it takes 60 to 120 minutes to play. Now, Space Cadets, what you do is you're playing a bunch of different roles on a spaceship, trying to get an objective done. This game, as you can see, is very daunting because it has so many stations. The first station, which is the captain, just keeps track of the discussion time and keeps track of all the time to do everything pretty much. My 5-year-old, who's too young to play this game, loved keeping track of time with this, so he was engaged like that. Now, obviously, y'all don't have 6 players, unless you guys do. If you have a big family, go ahead and play it. I only had 3 players, me and my 2 daughters. My son just kept track of the time. So we played on this that keeps track of each time, just like that, on what station's turn it is. Now, what's really cool is every station plays another different game. Now, each station also comes with its own card, a QR, and a little reminder of what each station does. The QR will take you to a video to explain the rules. So you don't have to explain the rules and have a negative experience with your kids not listening. They love to listen to videos on the computer. Now, this is engineering. What does this do? This is just a tiles game. What happens is the more completed pictures you get, each picture gives that amount of energy to that station. So the yellow pictures are helm. You have 1, 2, 3 completed helm. Helm will get 3 energy. I know it's 2 over there. I just didn't want to open up the bag all that much. Tractor beam is a matching game. What you'll do is match the tiles with each other, and the more matches you get, the stronger your tractor beam to capture wherever you need to capture. Usually it's crystals. And there's the jump drive, which is usually a game of Yahtzee. You roll these dice to perform the hyper jump to end the mission. All missions must end with a hyper jump, except for the tutorial mission, which is the one that I played with my kids. Now, you could still roll the dice every turn before the last turn to earn these cards, which help you manipulate your dice roll. Some of them adds 1. Some of them you could just straight up add 1 or minus 1. Some of them you could change a 2 to a 5 or a 5 to a 2. All this because a successful jump requires all 5 of these dice to have the same exact number. The next is the helm. So what the helm does, and this is what my 8-year-old played, and my 6-year-old does want to try. My 9-year-old, I'm sorry, she's 9 now. So what this does, you use a card, it tells you exactly what to do. Forward and look left. Forward and look left. It is simple as that. However, each obstacle on the map has a special effect. The way energy works is, if you have energy in the maneuver box, you could draw more cards. If you have a thrust, that means you could actually play more cards. Next is weapons. Both my 9 and 7-year-old really love this. What you have to do during the one stage is to play Tetris and completely fill up these boxes to load the torpedoes. The more energy, the more cards you get to load. Then, depending on which range you are and where you are on the map over here, you will then flick this disc. Depending on if you have a super lock, a lock, or no lock, that is how much damage you will do to the enemy. Now, speaking of locks, this is a sensor. My actual 7-year-old played this. What you have to do is you have a bunch of shapes that you must draw from the bag and match with the card. You can only draw the amount of shapes you have cards of, and if you get it wrong, you got it wrong. It is timed, so by feel alone, you have to look for that shape, and boom, you match it. This is the proper. Since this matches, I do get the target lock or whatever I needed on the enemy. There will be cards here to show which enemy you're locking on. This is the shields. What you do is you're going to play poker with a bunch of these tiles and put them in here. Now this, I only put shields on the starboard side, so this will get me a certain amount of shields. Here's the scoring for that. 1 pair, 3 straight, any 5, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, etc. Also, if all tiles in the outer zone are the same color, you get ×2. So this is a 3 of a kind, and so I would get 2, and since all the colors are the same, I'll get 2 more. Multiply that by 2, so 4. And that's your shields. Now what's hilarious is if the helmsperson that's sitting all the way over there does not have the ship properly facing, one of the enemies can shoot you in the other places. Now this is the damage and repair. Pretty much whenever you get shot, you have to draw a card from which side you got shot. There's a very simple station that my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old can play, and you could actually coach the person because everybody else is actually watching, because this is the last stage of play. Pretty much you draw cards from repair. They're either successful or fails. Other cards you'll have to roll a dice to see if success is successful or it fails. It is very simple. Now let's talk about cleanup. When I set this game up, it was the first time my kids were playing, so I set it up beforehand while they were at school. However, they had a fun time actually cleaning this game up and organizing a way so they themselves, by themselves, could set it up next time. I haven't seen them set it up yet because we've only played it once. However, they love cleaning up, so that's a plus. This game is pretty hard to clean up. Now, things to remember with Space Cadets. The older kids and the younger kids could both play it, but you will need to know how to organize the different stations. Also, give them extra time. It's okay if they run out of time. The tutorial mission is very good because it takes away certain stations that are unnecessary, and you will lose a tutorial mission, and that is fine. Because this game, I played the first mission, I barely won the first mission with my adult friends, and most of my friends lose even the first mission. This game is not to win. This game is to have a wacky, crazy time. Because if one station messes up, all the other stations mess up. You're not an elite team of Star Trek cadets. You're the underdecks. You're the team you're the B team. You're the D team. This game is meant to be funny. So if you're a brown parent who expects excellence from the kids, it's not going to come, because this whole game is to have a funny, wacky, zany time. This has been my review of Space Cadets from Stronghold Games. If you enjoyed this review, and if you found it helpful, please subscribe, follow, and leave a comment on what games you want me to review so you could decide to buy them to play with your kids or not.